All right. How you doing? It is another day that was not promised to us, and we're going to take every advantage of opportunity that comes our way. How you doing? I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince from the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show. We come to you each and every day right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, digging into the world of the HBCU. And today would be no exception to the rule. Want to remind you that you can follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. And of course, the website is obnradio.com. You can listen to us on TuneIn at Open Mic Broadcast Network. That's simply OPEN, capital MIC. It's all one word in Broadcast Network. You can listen to us by way of your telephone by simply dialing 605-477-5066. You can listen to us anywhere throughout the country. We know the basketball season is coming toward March Madness, and it is an absolute fantastic time of the year. However, we cannot turn a blind eye to what is going on in the East Coast, on the East Coast, between Hampton University and the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. We reported earlier this week that the Hampton Pirates are going through what I would equate to an ugly divorce proceedings with that of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. The Hampton Pirates, under their leadership of administration, has decided to move toward the Big South. And the Big South will openly receive, or should I say has openly received, Hampton. And Hampton made this announcement during the course of the 2017 campaign. And as a result, everyone would go to move forward. But then we got hold to this 4-page letter that was released by the powers that be from Hampton University. And when you break this thing down and dissect this thing down, it is really a ugly, ugly breakup. It's like when you were younger and you had your little puppy love and that first love interest that you really had, and then you guys decided that you were no longer going to be a unit, and you decide to go separate ways, and then you just start bashing on each other, and you go, well, I'm with such and such now, and moving on and moving on. It has really gotten down to that. But as we try to be responsible in what we report and accountable for what we report, we have reached out to Hampton University, and they have agreed to come on the Mike Prince Show and view and air out their version of the story. And we are lining that up as we speak, and we should have something coming to you real soon. But when I went back over this letter, you couldn't help but go like, wow, they went there. From the allegations of what the MEAC is not willing to do and to what they offered is almost like night and day. But there were some damning comments by the administration, and I am patiently waiting that we can clear out the air, because sometimes, trust me, I've been in this broadcasting game for a long time. Sometimes what we put on paper does not come out the way it sounds when we speak our words. But although it's on paper, it is some pretty rough, in-your-face comments that were made by Hampton University. And I knew when I first got into this story that this was not going to be a one episode event. And I know today's show is not going to be a one episode event. So we'll just try to dissect this thing and break it down as much as we can while we can. We are in the motions right now of hearing from Hampton University. And we are working on that real soon. I'm talking within the next 24 to 72 hours of having Hampton on the Mike Prince Show where we can hear. So you don't have to hear my opinions and speculations. We'll go straight to the source. I believe in going straight to the source. Let the source speak and say what they meant instead of us interpreting what was said or bouncing things off the wall. We're going to hear exclusively from them. We have confirmed that. They have said yes, they will be willing to be a part of the show, and we cannot wait to, as I say, get down to the bottom of this. But one of the responses, according to the letter that was released by Hampton University on February 20th, 2018, was that the MEAC refuses to discuss the transitional situation. They refuse to discuss it. Said they've reached out to the commissioner, they've reached out to the spokesman for the president, and no one wants to discuss with Hampton the transitional exit within reasonable terms. In fact, Hampton is on record for saying that the MEAC's response has been vindictive sanctions against their student athletes. By being vindictive, they're saying that Hampton's football team would not be eligible to participate in the Celebration Bowl, which is, of course, the HBCU championship game between the MEAC top team and the Southwestern Athletic Conference top team. Also saying that the players would not be eligible for Player of the Week acknowledgement. The coach would not be available for Coach of the Year opportunities and other conference acknowledgments that come with being a part of the MEAC. And this is part of that transitional, that exit stage. And another statement or accusation coming from Hampton is that Hampton has made it clear that they would like to remain eligible for the MEAC championship games. Last time that the Hampton Pirates were involved in a MEAC championship experience was back in 2015 with the basketball team, and it got them just a little bit over $500,000 in revenue for being a part of that conference tournament action. Hampton is also willing to schedule 3 to 4 football games between 2019 and 2022. They are willing to schedule 3 or 4 of those games per year for those next 3 years as they transition to the Big South. And they're willing to do the same on a similar scale level for basketball and other non-revenue games. So it is really getting down, but they're saying that the MEAC's counteroffer was unmeasurable. And here are some of the options that the MEAC have put on the table toward Hampton in order for them to have a clean break. Number one, Hampton must schedule 8 football games for 2018 season, as well as the 2019 through 21 season. 2, Hampton would not be eligible for any postseason competition. Number 3, Hampton would be considered a non-conference opponent for the other MEAC schools. Number 4, we kind of stated on this just a little while ago, but Hampton must play 8 games for 2019 through 21 football season. Number 5, Hampton would be forced to pay a fine of $250,000 back to the conference due to the imbalance that it brings towards scheduling. You know, it's kind of compensation you got to pay to get out when you get these phone contracts or any other cable contracts or whatever. If you leave early, you have to pay an exit fee. That's what that would be equated to. Number 6, Hampton would not be eligible to receive any conference proceeds starting June 30th, 2018, which is not that far away. Some of this could be speculated, and I'm going to use that word speculate. As we say, Hampton will be here where they can defend themselves, and trust me, we're going to have some questions and, going back and forth for them to be able to rightly defend their statements, what was said, what was meant to be said, however. But there could be an undercurrent that Presbyterian of the Big South has vacated football, which leaves a gap in the scheduling of Big South football. And now it could be, I'm just speculating, it could mean that the Big South is now telling Hampton, look, you guys are going to have to fill the void where Presbyterian has left. We'll see how all that comes down the road. Hampton has admitted that they missed the July 1st, 2017 deadline, which would have all the necessary paperwork for this transition to take place. As we mentioned on the other day's broadcast, the fact that you missed that deadline kind of leaves you over the barrel. And so now the transition has a bump in the road. And the excuse that Hampton had was they missed this deadline, as they admitted to missing, not due to negligence or anything of that nature, but they were simply caught up in other discussions with other conference about them moving forward. It happens, but also if we're in the business of building leaders, molding leaders, it's about accountability and responsibility. If you miss a deadline as a student/athlete for a test, you have to deal with the consequences. But we'll get a chance to discuss all of that with Hampton. Now here is where I call some below the belt blows began to be fired off. Hampton is on record for saying joining the Big South lines up with Hampton's vision. Said the MEAC is 31 of 32 as far as rankings in power rankings for the nation, i.e., we're tired of being associated at the bottom of the heap. The MEAC vision, according to Hampton, does not line up with the core vision values of Hampton. It says that the MEAC's vision keeps Hampton's student athletes within the mindset of second-class citizens. That's pretty heavy. That's extremely heavy. The MEAC has made nothing but empty promises according to this 4-page letter that was released by Hampton. I.e., there is no trust And I don't care if it's a marriage. I don't care if it's a friendship. I don't care if it's a partnership. When there is no trust, you are dead men / women walking. Hampton is also on record saying that they want to be associated with a forward-thinking conference. And according to Hampton, it is obvious that the MEAC is not practicing what they preach. In the infamous words of my homeboy Nelly, it's getting hot in here. Still got a big weekend coming up with basketball from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Baseball, softball wrap-ups coming. But we got to keep our eye on the prize with this going on the East Coast. That's going to be my time for now. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Radio Guy. Instagram is Radio Guy 22. The website is obnradio.com. Don't forget, we have a YouTube channel. It's Open Mic Broadcast Network. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.